Hey wavies and curlies, this is Stacy from the Frizz Girls. I am looking for some Gen Xers. So if you're a Gen Xer, show me some Gen X love in the comments. Now, I'm looking for some specific Gen Xers. Not necessarily wavy curly hair, but if you have wavy curly hair, that's a total bonus. I'm looking for Gen Xers that had an experience as a child that I had. And I want to hear your story and know about it. So if you're a Gen X woman and you maybe have wavy curly hair or even straight hair too, but usually it kind of happened with wavy curly hair. When you were growing up as a child, did your mom ever convince you, criticize, judge you, shame you into cutting your hair and making it look like the Dorthy Hamill cut? If you're a Gen X woman and your mom decided that when you were a kid, long hair was not appropriate for you, she didn't want to teach you how to fix it, she didn't want you to learn how to take care of it yourself, she thought it would be so much better if she could just cut your hair off and cut it short. If you experienced that as a kid, raise your hand and drop me some Gen X love and let me know if that happened to you. And the reason why I'm asking that question is I have found a lot of videos specifically on TikTok. Now, I don't know how many I found on YouTube yet, but to my TikTok audience, I have found a lot of Gen X women and some millennials, but mostly Gen X women, where when you were somewhere between like 7 and 10, your mom thought the best thing that she can do for you is to cut your hair off and to cut it short. And a lot of it looked like the bowl cut or the Dorthy Hamill cut or the feathered cut, and you felt ugly. You didn't feel like yourself. And in rebellion, as you got older, specifically as an adult, you decided to grow your hair long and embrace your long hair. I want to hear your story. And the reason why I'm asking Gen X women who have gone through like that experience is because I went through it too. And you're thinking, really? And I'm like, yeah, I did. I wrote a book on my experience called Stacy Learns to Love Her Wavy Hair and You Can Too, and that is me illustrated on the cover. I did the illustrations myself. And I just want to read a little bit in my book so you can kind of understand what I went through as a kid. So I'm going to read my story, just a couple pages of it. It's a kid's book, but still it's applicable for women too. It says here, Dear wavy or curly kiddo, so I could be speaking to your younger self, so your younger self that went through this experience. When I was 9 years old, I didn't know how to take care of my long wavy brown hair. My mom used to fix my hair for me. She'd put in a ponytail, side ponytail, pigtails, or clip the sides back with colorful plastic barrettes shaped like bows. Can you relate? She never showed me how I could do it myself. One day she started talking to me about cutting my long wavy brown hair. She would not stop talking about it. Cut your hair. 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 And there I was when I was 9. And there's the mouth of my mother expressing to me to cut my hair. And then we go on. While my mom and I were shopping for new black ponytail holders with the colorful balls on either side, she looked at me and asked me for the millionth time, "Do you want to cut your hair?" I said, yes, but I really didn't want to cut my hair. I love my long wavy brown hair, but I didn't want my mom to be mad at me. How many of you Gen X women felt that in your own life? Raise your hand, drop me some love. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. She made an appointment for me at the Yellow Balloon in Westwood, California. I can remember sitting in the yellow vinyl chair looking at the calm and quiet hairdresser, questioning my choice to cut my hair. I remember her saying to my mom while playing with my long wavy brown hair, "But it's so beautiful." And my mom replied, "She wants it cut." And here are the ponytail holders, and you probably remember these as a kid. And here's the Yellow Blue Salon, and this was located in Westwood, California, in the Los Angeles area. So if you're from Los Angeles and you lived on the west side of LA, and were a kiddo in the 80s, you knew about the Yellow Blue Salon. Deep down inside, I didn't want to cut my long wavy brown hair, and I was too scared to say no, or I changed my mind. So the hairdresser slowly cut off my long wavy brown locks one at a time. Snip, snip, snip. There I am again. And there's the scissors and my hair falling to the floor. After she finished cutting my hair, I looked at myself in the mirror and I saw that I now had ugly, short feathered brown hair. I felt sad, but my mom was happy. And there I am, sad. And if you want to know what happens in the rest of my book, Stacy Learns to Love Her Wavy Hair, you can too. You can always grab it from my TikTok shop, or you can go to my website, www.thefrozzegirls.com, and order it from that place as well too. I also have ebooks available on Amazon, so if you want to grab the ebook version, you're more than welcome to. I have no problem. The best way to find it is either looking up by the book name or my name, Stacy, S-T-A-C-Y, Schilling, S-C-H-I-L-L-I-N-G. And also, I'm thinking of writing a new story. And this one I want to write for you, millennials, and especially my Gen X sisters. My Gen X sisters who experienced what it was like as a child being forced to cut your hair and not allowing the freedom to have long hair when you were growing up in the 80s. So if you were a Gen X woman and you suffered from the bowl cut, a feathered cut, the Dorthy Hamill cut, your mom made you feel like your hair was a curse. She criticized it. She didn't want to teach you. She didn't want to show you how to take care of it. She didn't want to get lessons for you. If you experienced that as a Gen X woman, I want to hear your story. I want to hear what you went through. And I also, more importantly, want to know, how did that make you feel? I want to learn and understand what you went through at that moment in your life, because I want to be able to take that moment and I want to put it into a story, and I want to capture all the Gen X women and put it into a story. And the reason why is there are so many of us that went through this, and I, for the longest time, thought I was the only one that experienced this. And then I realized more of my Gen X sisters experienced this. And there's got to be a reason why. And we've got to help encourage one another to break free of that past trauma. But we also have to encourage others that they can learn to love their wavy curly hair as much as we love ours as Gen X women. So if you like what I've shared, and if you think you'd want to be part of my story, drop a comment. Message me through TikTok and say, hey, Stacy, I've got a story I want to share with you. Let me know, and we'll get together via Zoom and chat. But again, if you want to order a copy of my book and for yourself, or if you have a wavy curly hair kiddo in your family, maybe a young child, maybe a cousin, maybe a niece, maybe a little girl at school, a neighbor, you can always go to my website or my TikTok shop and grab my book, Stacy Learns to Love Her Wavy Hair. Oh, excuse me. And you can too. Have a great day, wavies and girlies and Gen X women. Stay tuned. You never know when I'll pop on here. Bye.